Okay, we're going to start this up again.
Please, I'm only here for
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, so this is Talkaoke. It's a pop-up talk show. Rick, come and have a sit down. Help us get this going. Let's just get some names from around the table. My name's Mikey. What's your name?
Rin.
Rin and
Anakin.
and
Carlos.
Carlos and
Chantal.
Chantal. I'll turn you up a little bit here.
That's deja vu because you did that earlier on.
You've obviously got a very quiet voice. And, yeah.
Recording and if someone's saying that I'm quiet because everyone tells me I'm loud.
Sorry,
so
what was that?
I have
quiet.
that on recording
You're the
now.
quiet one. Okay. What do we want to talk about? It's kind of up to you. We've had a lot of different subjects on the table so far. We can talk about anything we want to talk about virtually. It doesn't have to be virtual, no. It can be mixed. It can be unvirtual.
Well, the opposite of virtual.
Okay, so anyone got a subject to get the ball rolling? Any thoughts, comments, suggestions, observations, ideas?
The only thing that it comes to mind is beards.
Beards?
Oh wow.
Has it?
Everyone looks at me and says beard. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah.
I am very impressed by Rick's beard.
Yeah.
It's so Meshuggah. It's good.
Yeah.
The band Meshuggah. That's what I
What do you mean by Meshuggah?
It's a band.
Is it?
Really heavy band, and that's the kind of serious beard they'd have.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's not goth.
Oh, that's a shame. I like goth.
Yeah.
No,
And that's it. Just a question about whether they're a goth band or not.
They're not.
Okay.
It does fascinate me though how you have such a what's the word, magnificent beard, but the contrast between your head and your chin.
What is fascinating about that?
I don't know. I always find
Okay.
it fascinating when people
Okay.
have like really big beards.
Are you using the beard to offset your head?
I did actually used to have a ponytail, so maybe I did
Yeah.
sort of offset it.
Have you thought about having a ponytail beard?
I did, although I do a lot of sport, and I thought that might be a bit of an issue,
Yeah.
having a long beard
Right.
and sport.
Because I just don't have a beard, so
Okay. Would you like to have a beard?
maybe.
Okay. I mean, that could tie in with some of our questions about would you like to have a beard? You're welcome. Come and have a seat. We have got Rin, we've got Anakin, we've got we've got Carlos, we've got Chantel, we've got Rick and Mikey. Come and sit down. Well, 2 minutes. I'll let you know when the 2 minutes is up. Come and have a. There we go. What's your name?
Gillian.
Gillian. I'm not going to do the round names again. My name's Mikey. At the moment, we're talking about. Chantel wants to grow a beard. Will she be able to do that in the future? Will it become a female fashion accessory of the future?
I think it might. I think didn't someone in the fashion industry grow a beard and it was a big thing?
Really?
Like last year?
No, it was I think it was a woman contestant. I forgot her name now. She grew a beard. It's a man that's a woman.
How did she grow a beard?
It was a man
A
before.
man before, and she
Right.
transitioned into a woman.
Okay, so
There's
Yeah.
a Sikh lady has got a beard, and it's just
yeah,
just genetic.
just part of the look.
Yeah,
Will,
yeah, she just kept
yeah.
it, and now she's
Yeah.
like modelling basically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're talking about, will women be growing beards in the future? Would you ever want to grow a beard? Come and sit down. Give it 2 minutes. We've got Gillian, we've got Rin, we've got Anakin, we've got Carlos, and we've got Chantel. Gillian, have you ever had any thought, oh, maybe I should have a bit of a beard, I could grow a beard, could it be a fashion accessory of the future?
I don't think that's a thought that I've had, but that's
Yeah.
not to say, who knows, everyone changes.
Are there any fashion trends that have existed in your lifetime that you've been surprised at? Or any lifetime?
Not really, like nothing really, so I feel like everything keeps on coming back round, so,
So
there
it's-
isn't really
it's-
anything that's that new.
It's part of a cycle, in a way.
Definitely.
Is fashion just one big cycle?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not the person. I'm not qualified to answer this
Why?
question on the
Why?
grounds that I will definitely incriminate myself and not giving a shit.
Okay. Do you
About
not
fashion?
follow? You don't follow
No.
fashion.
No.
Will fashion follow you?
It will when I'm large and famous. Just a large woman walking around, the largest woman in the area.
So fashion will follow you. You won't follow fashion. Okay. Will the Hessian cloak ever become?
I think the Jedi look's coming back in. I think nerd culture is back in along with long scarves, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think I'm a monk when I'm wearing this.
Okay, and you're not a monk.
I'm not. No, just a nerd.
Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're talking about fashion trends. What are the fashion trends of the future? Will women be growing beards? That's what the speculation is. Will a dragon on the shoulder?
I think it's important that while women physically can't grow beards, they should have the right, should they ever choose to have it.
Right, they should have the
They
right.
should have the right.
But they can if they choose to, because
Right.
you can shave your face, and that will, I've been told,
Well, you think
to.
you can, if you kept on
and
shaving
you
your
can
face.
take hormones to
And
grow
take hormones?
beards.
So-
So I've been told. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
not.
So,
Beards, you know, the hat beards.
what do you mean a hat beard?
You know, it's a hat with a beard.
Okay,
on
so
it. Yeah,
Well,
it's attached to it.
is that a
It's-
more kind of realistic fashion accessory in a way?
It is
hat
on the
beard?
ski slopes. There's
Okay.
a lot of those hat beards.
And it goes over your ears, and it like it's a beard.
Okay.
It's like a.
Will that be a fashion accessory in the future? And how will you feel, Rick, if people suddenly start wearing all these false hat beards? Will you start wearing a hat?
Well, a beard hat on my head, you mean?
Yeah.
Just to sort of mirror, concern myself
no,
round.
like a hat beard, like a hat with a beard to cover your actual
Actual
beard.
beard. Be an interest to say what's under the beard, and I could just find
Yeah,
another
beard under
Yeah.
the beard. Okay. I mean, Gillian says that fashion just goes around in circles, but have hat beards ever been in fashion in the past? Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe I just don't know. I'm out of the loop.
Okay.
Very much in fashion now. I've seen these. It's like 50-year-old men. They have these beards, but they have these like massive bodies.
Yeah.
It's like now it's a new fashion for men to be like.
To be
when they are
50.
50 and
Okay,
have
well, I'm
really
following-
rugged and
yeah.
with a massive beard.
Okay. So, big men age 50 with big beards. That's in fashion.
I don't think that's a new trend. I just
Yeah.
think generally men like to be that type of man.
Okay. I mean, Luke Skywalker in the latest Star Wars film is following is on
Beautiful beard, yeah.
is on trend. He's bigger.
He was a
with
bit of a hipster, yeah. He was a bit of a hipster. Had this very nice beard going on. Wasn't as manly and as impressive as yours, obviously. I have to say, and it was also not as trimmed down and stylish as yours. But it was kind of a hermit beard.
is he dictating the fashion to be big and 50 with a beard?
Well, I think to be honest, it's hard to say because you see, Luke was trying to get away from that, but at the same time, I think a lot of fashion pulls him back in.
I mean, this is interesting. That's what Rin was saying. That she's almost oblivious to fashion, but fashion somehow follows her. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got mass is important at this point because it's the gravitational pull of fashion that you're looking for.
Okay, so it's all about a kind of gravitational pull. I mean, what do you think? Is it better to be almost oblivious to fashion and then fashion will follow you instead of you following fashion?
I think you should just do whatever you like. Don't follow trends. Just
Yeah,
do
just
what makes you happy.
even if that is wearing a beard hat.
Go for it.
Yeah, okay. Any fashion tips for 2018?
Oh no, I have none.
No? Anybody? Or 2088?
Whatever you can afford, whatever you like the look of, and whatever you think is comfortable.
Yeah.
I'd say they're my three tips.
Comfort will be big.
Comfort, affordability, and what you like.
Okay. Fashion students, we're talking about fashion trends. Any tips from the fashion students about what's big for 2018 or 2078 for that matter?
That's a no from them.
That's a no. They're not going to tell us, obviously, because we're not part of that fashion scene.
I think punk needs to make a permanent comeback, but not like 2000s punk. I'm talking original 1970s punk here.
What's the difference?
Proper punk.
What's
1990s was more grunge.
What's the difference between?
1990s is more pop punk really than pop punk.
Like that was sort of late.
I think.
I'm going to say Anakin's.
I think it's like isn't 60s or 70s coming back in? I've seen a lot of people in uni wear the big the trouser that's a little bit up your leg, and it's like
a high cut trouser,
because
3/4 length.
I remember wearing this when I was little, and I would got bullied, and it was called like bell bottoms or like ankle swingers, and so. And it's weird because I would have got bullied for that, but then now it's fashionable to wear that.
Okay. Yeah.
When we had a non-uniform day at school sometime, I wore black combat trousers and a German tank jacket with a German army shirt underneath. Total typical 80s fashion. You'll all agree.
Okay.
And I was called a hippie for that then, and
Right.
everyone wears flipping combats now. So
Yeah.
see, there was a good example of how fashion followed me.
Okay, fashion follows you. You don't follow fashion.
70s stuff. I wear a lot of vintage 70s stuff. And dragons, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, dragons.
New fashion.
It's fairly new because they've only just been discovered, really. But
Yeah. Well,
I think it's all.
I mean, will it just be dragons, or would it be any mythological animal on your shoulder?
Yeah, unicorns. I think have been in for a while, haven't they?
Okay.
Unicorns.
Unicorns have sort of already been in. I think wolves are always been. I think dragons are like the new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the new thing that hasn't been out and is now coming out?
Okay. Okay? So we've heard about dragons, but what is going to supersede dragons when it comes to wearing an animal on your shoulder?
Baby Pegasus.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I think human skin is an underused material.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's
A few times, didn't she?
Okay.
Yeah, human skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Is that
Katy
her
Perry,
own
she hardly
skin?
wears anything at all when
Yeah.
she does those shows.
Meat. She actually had what is
Yeah.
it like? Beef and pork all just
Yeah.
all over her body. Which is
Will wearing beef become a fashion? Wearing beef, anyone? Following Lady Gaga?
I don't think wearing human skin would be a thing because people already
Yeah.
protest about wearing
there's-
other animal skin. So
Right. But what about if the thing about human skin is human skin could be consented to, so...
But if you think about how milk is also a thing, so we're allowed to drink other animals' milk, but when we try and drink our own milk, it's wrong and weird.
Is it?
Yeah, so babies can drink human milk, but if you were to drink a woman's milk, it would be weird.
Yeah, yeah.
I know a lot of people that are into that.
So who would think it was disgusting and weird? But why is it disgusting and weird? It's made for us. Why do we drink cow's milk? That's
Okay,
weird.
so you're saying that human milk is actually better...
I don't know, I haven't tasted it, but
Who the hell came up with cow's milk? They go up to a cow, they find these dangly uddery bits and go, I'm going to give them a good squeeze and drink what comes out.
You
It's
think
a bit
that's
screwed
weird,
up.
a bit weird. I mean, well, in the future,
bit
will we
odd.
be drinking human milk, either made synthetically or made from some kind of cyborg mammary gland? Out?
China, they don't actually drink human milk, but they do eat baby fetuses, which is very strange.
Really?
That is strange.
Okay.
Occurrence, though.
Okay.
I don't think it's a common.
It's
kind
not
of
a common
delicacy.
snack. It's not a common snack. Okay, so we're talking about, in a way, the milk of the future. Will it be human milk?
to think about though, having a farm of women, and that's their job. Oh, what's your job? I'm a milk producer or something like that.
Is that more ethical than...
I think
than
that's
farming
probably
cows?
yeah. I think it's more natural, isn't it? Because like your body makes this milk for that same species. I think it's weird to drink cow's milk.
Okay, so in a way, it could be a job.
Almond.
We have an issue drinking human milk, but vampires are sexy as shit. I don't. I mean,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
But okay, so will we be drinking human milk in the future? That's what we're talking about at the moment. Rick, have you got a view on this? Have you ever drunk human milk?
But obviously at some point, yeah. But I don't remember.
Not that you remember. Okay.
And I have when I was a little kid, when I
Okay.
was a baby, but I don't remember doing so.
Okay, so I mean, will we have human farms in the future? And milk, I guess, would have to be a lot more expensive.
we could get a little bit scientifical about this, right? And
Yeah.
not that I'm a scientist or anything, but
Yeah.
if water supplies start running out, the only chance of you getting milk will probably be from humans because you can't have almond, and they won't have
Yeah.
the water to grow animals to
Yeah.
the size that we have now. So maybe that will be the only way you're getting a milky coffee is from your ma, literally.
Will milk be an extreme luxury in the future?
Well, a lot of people don't drink it now, I suppose, but if you really wanted it, though, yeah.
Is milk's
But
milk's
almond and soya, but you can't have those without massive amount of water.
Milk industry, I think, is dying, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
like, how many milkmen do you see? They're going extinct.
yeah.
Back.
No,
They're coming back because of
milkman.
the recycling thing with the glass bottles and stuff.
And then suddenly, poof, no milkman.
Did he die?
I don't know, but like we just started going to the shop to buy like carton
Okay.
milk and plastic.
Thing is that people want their milk back delivered to their house on bottles they can
Yeah.
give back, right? It's
Yeah.
a good idea. It's a good
Okay.
idea.
I mean, do you need any sort of vessel to contain the milk anyway?
Yes, you need. going to have like those little gelatin bowls, you know, the water sweets. You
Yeah.
could just have that. They could have
Yeah.
that instead of a milk bottle.
Yeah. Okay.
What he said was, do we need container? Meaning we can just source it straight from the source, and that's weird.
Yeah.
I used powdered milk, which was a bit weird.
Yeah.
So you just powdered milk, which is a bit weird.
Yeah. Powdered milk's a bit weird.
You just want to drink milk from a woman, and you're just pulling us back into that conversation. No matter what we're going to say, that is the point you're going to.
I just want to point out, I'm not a milk drinker. I'm not a milk drinker at all.
Only if it comes from the woman.
Well, I mean, I have in the past.
Do men produce milk? That is my question. Can they?
No, sometimes, yeah.
Some can.
Sometimes. Well, actually, when I was 16, I had a weird thing where a nipple started lactating. My nipple, yeah.
Just one.
Yeah, but it was only for like a few weeks, and then it stopped.
Quite a long time.
Yeah.
But
No.
men can't see. But here's the equality thing. Men can't, but they should have the right to produce
Yeah.
milk if they wanted to.
Okay. I mean, I guess you could somehow rehormonize and produce milk. Okay. Well, I mean, these could be some of the fashions of the future. What's it?
Moobs.
Moobs.
Will they be the fashion of the future?
Yeah.
About like why. But here's my question is, why is it socially acceptable for a guy with, you know, moobs or boobs or whatever, you know, there, to go out and have a shirt off and have them there, but a girl who doesn't even have breasts at all still has to wear a bra?
Okay.
Yeah, treat everybody equally.
Okay.
It can be sexual in a way. It's like everyone has a nipple.
I think that it doesn't matter what gender you are, but if your chest area gets to a certain like weight level, you have to wear the support or not. But you should have that choice to do that on any gender.
Okay, I mean, it seems there's a consensus on the table that we shouldn't treat men and women's bodies differently when it comes to certain censors and prohibitions of like what we wear. Since everyone agrees on that, am I right?
Some girls just don't have big breasts, but they still have to wear a bra or a bikini. They can't just take their shirt off and run around on the street. But if they're classified as a man, they are now allowed to do it. Even if a man has really big breasts, they're allowed to run out on the street.
Do you think
without a bra.
that's kind of wrong?
I think it's a bit unfair.
Okay.
That just because they're female.
But
they have
does
to wear a
anyone
bra.
disagree with Chantel's point around the table? We're talking about male boobs right now. Should they be treated any differently to female boobs? No one on the table seems to think so.
So when you're young, they're fine, but as soon as you get to a certain age, suddenly they're sexualized as.
Yeah.
But men nipples aren't sexualized.
Yeah.
Why are females? If I showed you a picture of a man and a woman nipple, you probably wouldn't be able to tell me the difference.
They probably be hair, probably.
Same, yeah.
Okay.
They would look the same.
Yeah.
Can you tell the difference between a man and a woman's nipple?
It all depends on many factors, light being one of them.
Yeah.
You know, how much light is in the room.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, if I showed you like a pink one and then like a hairy one, you might.
Yeah.
But if I showed you like two similar looking ones.
Okay, so they could be similar.
I think there was an online test for this a while back, and I didn't do very well on it.
Well, there's a test online.
There was a I mean, this is a few years ago.
Can you tell
but they got pictures that were very, so they didn't do extremes or anything like that. They was very, they're all similar.
Yeah.
So everything was clean shaven for the men's and everything like that. So.
Okay, so
The one where like someone does like this or like that, and it's like, oh yeah, look at this butt, and it's like actually someone's like arm, like.
Okay. Do you know anything about that kind of thing?
Like mouth, and they do this, and it's like vagina, but it's actually your mouth, and it's imagery to make you think.
I mean, what do people think about the human form? Are we kind of a little bit sensitive about showing certain parts of the human form?
A lot of people are.
And what is the reason for it? And if something looks like a different part of the body, does that mean we shouldn't show it?
So you're saying your arm looks like if your arm looked like a penis, you would not be able to show your arm if it looked like that.
Yeah. All right. Here we go again.
So if you had deformity, and your arm looked like that, would you have to cover it up? Would you have to censor it?
Okay.
Our Disability Discrimination Act would probably mean that you don't have to cover it,
Yeah.
because that would be discriminatory against someone who had a penis for an arm.
Okay. This is earlier on we were talking about how did the universe begin. Now we're talking about what about if someone had a penis for an arm. Anyway, yeah, there's possibly a point. Okay, so I mean, is it just that we live in a weird world where we're kind of sensitive about some things but not about others? Is it part of our kind of world of discrimination? What do people think?
It probably comes from religion basing our society's laws on whatever religion happened to be in governance at the time. So if we're told that things are sinful, all that kind of aspect, then we have hundreds and hundreds of years of being told that we should be embarrassed. When actually there's no...
Hang on a sec, Carlos.
I actually think religion is one of the worst things to come by mankind, because if you think about it, if there's thousands of planets out there, and there is life, if there's life out there, or there should be, we basically believe in something that we created, not that was meant to show. And back then, you couldn't really tell if someone was being... nowadays, you've got like mental science and things like that, so you can tell if someone's crazy or something like that. Back then, you couldn't tell that, so someone could fake something or make an illusion, and everyone would believe them that they're magicians and stuff like that.
All right. Okay. So you're saying religion is... Are you talking about all religions?
Most religion, basically, the only religion that I see as it's not really a religion. It's more like this spiritual thing, where it's Buddhism, because it's like to do with but it's not like someone follows philosophy. Basically.
What are you saying, Shanta?
I think what you're trying to say is basically like nowadays, like, and it's been proven to like it's so if someone now would say, oh yeah, I got pregnant, it's God and all then basically all of that, and said like, oh, I can make water into wine, no one would believe you. Even people who follow that religion think it's crazy, and I know people who really deeply follow this religion but still admit a lot of what we believe is a bit weird. So
if it wasn't for religion, we wouldn't have war. Basically. Not much
is
war.
Is that true?
I don't believe that.
Okay, Rick, there's a few contention.
People always find things to not disagree with someone else and stuff like that, and religion is just one of them to...
basis to attack.
So what also comes from the thing of I want that, I can't have that, I have power, I'm gonna fight you for it. It doesn't matter about your beliefs, it's like you want something and you're gonna get it. And power and money, there's a lot. The world, we could sit here for like a week and talk about things.
For religion, we wouldn't have the Dark Ages, and then technology would have advanced further by now. It'd be like 2,000 years.
Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that, because you need, because it's always darkest before the dawn, and you need to break some stuff to make it bad enough to invent some stuff.
Do you agree with this analysis of religion?
What was that?
Carlos was kind of saying that religion has really held humanity back because of certain...
No, because a lot of our movements forward have been during war. Like we invented Nightingale, whatever, I'm going anesthetics and all that anesthesia.
Nursing, you're talking about that.
Comes out from Boer War and all of these things.
Okay.
And microwaves probably came from trying to blow people up and all sorts of stuff. So unless it was aliens, but we've already covered that. That's
okay, so necessity is the mother of invention. Warfare leads to innovation. But what's the part of religion in that? Is there a part, you're neutral on it, you're saying that religion has a part to play when it comes to starting wars?
I don't think religion is the cause of war. I think religion can have a part to play in war. I don't think it's solely to blame, and I don't think religion is like a completely bad thing. I think personally religion can be bad, and it can break people apart and like have fights, but I think
is it worth it also for all the innovation?
It can also bring people together, I think. So I think religion can be good and it can also be bad. It's kind of like yin and yang, if that makes any sense.
So there's a bit of both there, really. We're talking about religion. Has religion held humanity back? There's a guy called Carlos who's run away now.
Well, it's the same as technology can be used for good and it can be used for bad, can't it? So religion and technology both used for good and bad.
Okay, so you think that religion's not too much of a bad thing?
Some people it's not, no. But yeah, it's right. If they want to believe something, well, if it's not doing any harm to someone else, yeah. I mean, we'll see.
I think everything, religion, technology, food, people, guns, drugs, anything like that, I think it can all have good and bad things. It's down to the human beings to then apply that. Because that's proving, you can give a gun to someone who's good. They might not use it, or they might use it for good. Give it to someone who's bad, and then they kill everyone. The same with drugs or money or food.
Does that mean, Chantal, that we'll never improve as a species if we're always just kind of like, reliant on the goodness of people and we can't really change that? Or, it's just about who gets the power in their hands.
I think it just comes down to like, the reason why we change and we reform and change over time is because whoever's sort of got the most vote at the time of power. So, for example, if you have a room with someone and everyone agrees with that one person, you're all going to sort of feel the same with that room. But if everyone disagrees with that one person's probably not going to have a good time.
Right. So in a way, we kind of go a bit more towards consensus. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're talking about wars, we're talking about religion. Have you ever been in a war or been in a religion? You have. Come and tell us about it.
I think something like religion would always exist. I think even if you started, mankind started again, some sort of religion would form, or religions.
Okay. So, I mean, it's just a way. It's a way of seeing the world, or is it?
Yeah, I guess it's interpreting. You just look at different tribes and things like that have different.
They tend to have religious beliefs.
Yeah, or they follow the sun or something like that, or it's just happened throughout history, basically.
Yeah,
and it's been changed or morphed into something else or adapted and converted. Yeah.
What about those people that are not religious? Do they have some kind of other religion that they're following? If it's so much a part of humankind?
I guess even atheists will guess. Some people believe in absolutely nothing. Some people believe in energy, or So.
I think this word religion is all this thrown around quite a lot. I think personally, I believe is like religion just means a set of rules that you follow. Yeah. And so like I'm not religious, but there's like I have things that I would do a certain way, and I believe in, and if so many people also agreed with me and followed that, then that would be a religion, and that's how it happened. That's how certain people all followed one. It's basically kind of like one person said this is what I believe in, and everyone said I think we should all do this one thing, and then that made that religion, and that made that religion, and then so forth now. So
okay, Carlos, while you've been away, we've sort of moved on the discussion, and Rick's kind of proposed that religion is in a way something that just human beings do. So we all have our kind of beliefs, and we all follow our beliefs, and new religions might start all the time with really popular people. So it's just what humans do.
I think religion started basically, what I've seen and heard was there was one religion called Christollah, which is basically Christians and Allah together. Yeah. And it was a spiritual one, and it was the time that Jesus went for 40 days and 40 nights in the desert. He actually went on a spiritual.
It's the second time we've heard about that today, actually. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. This is Talkaoke. Is religion a part of mankind, a part of humankind? We are giving them things for free.
We're giving sweets and they're still not coming in.
We haven't got time to actually for them. Anyway, sorry, Carlos, to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
So we're talking about Jesus in the desert. We want a final thought from you, please, Chantal, before we go, and from Rin. Oh, she's gone. So Carlos, Jesus in the desert, 40 days, 40 nights.
He went on a spiritual quest into the mountains where he practiced with Buddhists on how to transcend the third dimension into the fourth one.
Sounds like Star Wars.
So in a way,
no, it's not. It was like it's something to do with the mind over matter. It's like be able to send your own consciousness outside your body. No, it may have been picked up from that, but it's not. I'm not talking about nothing to do with
Star Wars is a religion itself, which is actually true, isn't it?
I think there's Jediism.
Jediism, yes. Are you a part of Jediism?
Well, yeah. It's May the 4th. Okay, so we're talking about the religion of Jediism. Rick, have you got any views on any of this? What do you think about?
On what?
Come and have a seat on the table of chat. What are we doing? Well, at the moment we're sort of talking about religion, and there's this. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. Right now we're sort of talking about is religion something that humans will always do, and even atheists in a way are kind of religious in their own way. But now we're also talking about Jediism as a religion. It's a fictitious religion.
I've been on a weird journey, as it were. Should I just hold that?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, what's your name?
Armand.
Armand.
Yeah, so, because I've been baptized, had my Holy Communion, so I'm supposed to be Holy Catholic.
Yeah.
And that was probably all the way up until, no, maybe not even 11, like 10. But then after that, in school and learning, not so much, not religious anymore. But it was about if religion would be something that everyone would have.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, do you still have beliefs? Do you still have sort of spiritual beliefs, or is it morphed into something else? What does it become?
I'd say it's probably morphed into something else, like, because people have their beliefs. Like, some people believe in something greater, but they might not call it God or whatever names other people have. But I think it'll definitely be something that everyone always has, because we always have like a belief in like something else, because I guess that kind of drives us forward to a point, doesn't it? So,
I mean, I guess the question is it possible really to not believe in anything? Is it possible just to be really properly, maybe atheist, but a non-believer?
That's how you get nihilists.
No,
that's a nihilist.
It's not nihilistic, but what he's saying is it possible to believe in nothing? I don't think that's true. I think everyone will believe in something, not necessarily be just a religion, but like as we were saying, even non-religious people believe in certain things.
Okay.
So
let's bring Rick in on this. What do you think, Rick?
Oh no, I agree. You do kind of. Maybe there is someone out there, or a few people out there that do believe in absolutely nothing. But you kind of. Yeah, I think people do believe in something, whether they either believe in mankind itself or.
What about robots?
Robots,
like Metal Mickey, for example.
Now that's going into.
Do they have beliefs?
The whole AI thing.
I need to head off. So.
Okay, give us a final thought. Okay.
When you put someone on the spot, your mind just goes blank.
All right, let's get a final thought from Armand.
What in regards to robots or generally about religion?
In general.
I think religion maybe at a point will stop existing, because if you look over time, like especially in this country, less churches, less religiously devout people. But people keep believing. It'll just go to the next thing.
What will they believe in instead?
I guess we're becoming very spacey now about sci-fi and everything. So believe in some. I don't know, maybe aliens put us on this planet and we were put here for a reason or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. But it'll be something.
Okay, so we won't necessarily believe religiously, but we'll believe in something. Final thought? Have some of these.
Okay. Keep on clapping those hands.
Okay, keep clapping the hands for whatever reason. Okay, you got a final thought, Rick?
No.
Are you a believer?
In what?
In anything?
I guess I am a little bit, yeah. I don't know what I believe in though.
Final thought, James, are you a believer?
Final thought about...
Are you a believer? That's what we're talking about.
I'm a believer in life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and how does that belief manifest itself?
That I wake up in the morning and I believe in going and getting up and doing stuff.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, me too. I definitely believe in life. I've seen it, I've experienced it.
Unfortunately, some people are is it believers or?
Oh, a believer.
Yeah.
They believe in Justin Bieber.
Yes.
Okay, well that's for the next Talkaoke session. We'll deal with that in the next session. Okay, we'll get a picture with Metal Mickey.
Yeah, you've got to definitely get a Mickey picture.
Well, we need Mickey to come over here so we can interview.
You can only go to the back because you can only see through the...
Oh, I see.
Photographer, come and sit down on the table of chat as well. You're very welcome. See what life is like on the other side of the lens. Anyway, we've got a cup. Shuffle in a little bit more. That's for you, Rick. Okay, fantastic. Hello. Have a seat yourself. Come and sit down. So we have got. What's your name?
Rick.
Rick and
Stefan.
Ethan.
Jem. Phoenix.
I'm Mikey. Have one of these if you want. We don't have a subject yet, so the whole way Talkaoke works is kind of up to you to decide what you want to talk about. Any thoughts, anybody?
I'm not sure, I'll let you guys pick.
Okay.
I heard that James, obviously he's hosting today. He wanted to talk a bit about morality and technology. I don't know if that's something you've talked about before.
Is it something that you want to talk about?
I can talk about it, no doubt.
Is it something that you worry about?
It's something, of course. I think we all worry about it to an extent, don't we?
Yeah. I don't know. Let's find out.
Well,
Can we worry about it?
High growth world, especially in the technological community. Where's it going to go in a very short space of time? I guess it's quite intriguing, really.
Definitely, you worried about technology taking us over, or some morality, but I don't know quite what you mean.
I think it's inevitable. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, you think we're just going to get subsumed by technology?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Are there moral implications?
People losing their jobs. I guess that's a moral implication, but other than that, it's inevitable.
Okay, so the main problem is people losing their jobs. Phoenix, have you got anything to say on this? Are you worried about?
Well, a little bit of conversations come up in the activist community about not letting AIs take over drones without having a human in between or whatever it is, and things like that. I think, technology generally is a good thing. It's helping us a lot of ways, but we do need to... I saw something on the internet recently about technology developers, and actually some kind of conferences talking about ethics, morality, and how we build that in, because I think, Asimov's rules for robots or whatever, we need to build some of this stuff in before it becomes fully AI. And
okay, so we can actually build it into the artificial intelligence. It could be part of its intelligence that it's a caring artificial intelligence. Do people agree with this? What, Rick, do you agree with that? Would it be caring? Would a military drone ever be caring?
Would it actually do its job if it was caring? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, what do other people think? Can we just build this technology in?
Well, I think AI is a really interesting concept, especially these days. I was actually having a conversation about it with someone yesterday. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what AI is. AI is it's a form of computing that's been around since the 50s. It's got very long held roots, and I think something that's been explored more and more recently
is it going to lead to job losses? That's what Stefan...
Yeah, I think obviously automation it could lead to job losses, but I think what you have to remember is that AI does lots of amazing things, but it can't do something that we all have, which is be creative. It can never have creativity. It's not like us in that sense. I think creativity is something that has to exist external to ourselves as much as internally, and no computer has that. So in that sense, I think if we were all more creative, in our roles in life and society, then job loss and things like that could become less of a worry, and we could perhaps transition to being more creative creatures.
So we'll still do the creative stuff. What's that?
I was going to say, do you think that creativity is just another way of thinking smart? So you could probably learn how to be creative.
Do you think could a robot do that creativity too? And then robot artists?
I mean, it depends a lot on how far we are in the future, if we're talking about the future, because there will be a time when people do lose their jobs, but not everyone will lose their job, because I feel like there's some jobs that require human input and you just can't replicate it. Let's say a judge. Or I don't know, that sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Okay, so you wouldn't have a robot judge, but what job would you make?
An accountant.
Okay, a robot accountant, but not robot judge. Hang on a sec, Stefan, we've got a new face to the table. So we've got, what's your name?
Motor.
What was it? Martin?
Motor.
We've got Phoenix, what was it again?
Jem.
And
Ethan.
Ethan, that's right, and Stefan and Rick and Mikey. The moment we're talking about artificial intelligence, can it have a heart built into it? Can it have a sense of kindness built into it? And what about jobs? Are we all going to be without a job once artificial intelligence takes over? Will we be doing the things that robots can't do, like go upstairs and stuff like that?
There could be a robot judge, I think, because then it's not swayed by emotion.
So you think a robot judge could be more impartial? Yeah, okay, so maybe what's that?
They would look at previous cases in a more detailed way and be like, okay, there's probably guilty,
Yeah, I mean, in a way it could know every single case and it could be completely impartial.
So a lot of times in the media you hear stuff with law enforcement or the people or the organisation before the judge. And there's some sort of human error, whether it be because of discrimination or whatnot. But once you get to that point and you're put in that situation, like in America where they have the capital death penalty or whatever. if you're in that situation, I don't think a robot is going to be able to tell you like whether they're innocent or not. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Okay. Will a robot ever be able to do that? Will a robot be more impartial? We're talking about robot judges. We're talking about RoboCop earlier, actually, but yeah.
Well, I think that, to an extent it could, but if you think that, judges, require a moral compass, right, and morality is something that we still argue about today as humans, like, let alone robots, I think, a robot or any sort of AI can only know as much as it's been given, do you know what I mean? It can't create new stuff outside of that, so, how can we possibly say that it could do something that even we can't do today, necessarily? I mean, sure, we have justice and things like that, but it's not necessarily, there's still debate around that.
Okay, so it's a bit of a kind of tough job for anybody being a judge. Will a robot be able to supersede humans ever in that job or any other job for that matter? Are judges all going to be on the dole queue, out of a job, because robots are doing a better job?
You'd presume that, I mean, I don't know what we've discussed so far, but you'd presume that being a robot would be free of bias if the information it's been given to at least build that initial profile, build that initial algorithm, with all the available information, with all available cases, with the idea of what we consider ethical and not, and with enough training, it should be able to go beyond the biases which we innately have as humans, I believe. So I think, yes, it could, but
why would it be better?
Why would it be better?
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, human society in its own, I guess, is going through its own kind of conscious evolution, but robots, they will only have bias if we program it into them, which, I guess we make it in
it's really important in the programming stage to not program bias into the judge, but it is possible. That's what you're saying.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, Martin Phoenix, do you have any thoughts on this? Would you trust a robot judge more than a human judge? What about you? Would you robot judge? Is it a good job for a robot to do? Don't know, okay.
Depends who programs the robot, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
And, like Brother here says, what algorithms they put into it. I mean, we've got things like RoboCop was probably one of the early ones that told us about things. I mean, Terminator, obviously things went a bit wrong with that one and the old Skynet. I think there's one of the things in the London Sci-Fi Festival, this film called Defective, a new corporation that's been set up to try a new form of police in North America, uniformed anonymous preservers of peace. I think we really need to look at it. Human brains take billions and billions of calculations every second about a lot of different things, but humans can still be biased. Who programs the program into the robot and the computer in the first place?
Okay. Can you program bias out of a robot?
Good. Hopefully, you could do more harmonious open to a lot of things, but it depends who pays the budget to do the research. Some of these corporations have got very dodgy agendas. Some of them could be very egalitarian.
Okay, you wouldn't necessarily trust the programmers.
I'd say if you wanted to kind of make a judge a robot in the future, you'd have to first maybe kind of make, let's say, police robots, like the film that the gentleman was just talking about. If you kind of incorporate it slowly, where from the start, as soon as, let's say, a police officer sees a crime come in or whatever,
so they work their way up the ranks, kind of thing, from the lowly. Maybe they could. I mean, I guess they'd start off with traffic policing and then just move up to more serious cases in the end.
We rely on robots already to be our traffic management system. They already do our traffic lights.
Okay, so they are doing traffic already.
So, it's not such more of a leap for them to make other judgments and other decisions, whether we're looking at, automated cars, where they have to make those judgment calls. Who do I save in this situation? This is what we're eventually putting onto the robots. Same with drones. As we add AI to them, they have to make a decision. If something goes wrong, do I crash on this many people or do I crash on the road? They will be doing risk assessments. So we're going to have to give them that moral choice.
Okay, I wish I had robots to do my risk assessments, because that is a. What do you think we'll have robot judges in the future? Would you trust a robot judge more than a human? More impartial, more knowledgeable, less biased? Would you trust one? That's what we're talking about now. Phoenix, have you got? I mean, they're working their way up. They're already doing traffic.
My brother got me a T-shirt once. I really liked it. It said, "As you know more, you judge less." I think, but I would prefer a human doing it than a robot. I think because some of the things can be very, very logical, and sometimes there's lots of other factors to take in than just straight logic.
What?
You know, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to do it on a case-by-case basis. But you know, sometimes if you've just got a computer program that says go through, I'm not a computer programmer or a coder by any means, but if it just goes through logical steps all the way through, there are certain things that don't fit in within logical steps and programs and boxes, and you always have to have that human perspective to think outside the box and see the bigger picture and other perspectives and weigh up thousands of different issues that can affect every decision, you know.
So robots will never think outside the box. Is that what you're saying?
Well, exactly. I think, you know, it's madness, like, ultimately, to have robots in these sort of positions. You know, you look at the state of, like, you know, there's so much controversy, you know, in America and places like that today about, you know, things like seeming lack of empathy of policemen and stuff like that. You know, I think empathy is a huge part of the judicial process, both from, you know, at any point of the moment of arrest all the way to conviction. You know, I think all these, you know, it would be madness to give that over to robots, ultimately. I think.
Okay, so robots kind of empathy. Welcome, we've got a new face to the table. We've got Rick, we've got Stefan, we've got Ethan, Joe. Jem. We've got Jem, we've got Ben, Jem and Ben, that makes sense. And we've got Phoenix, I'm Mikey. What's your name?
My name's Ty.
Ty. At the moment, we're sort of talking about artificial intelligence and how and when and why it's going to take over. And then we came to the point of a judge. Could you have a robot judge? Would a robot judge be fairer, more impartial, more knowledgeable? Or would a robot judge fail to be empathic and fail to think outside of the box? So the judge, in a way, is a sort of case study, in a way, for, like, just, you know, artificial intelligence, what it can and can't do, really. Do you think we'll ever have robot judges?
Yeah, I do feel like, I mean, I had a teacher back in year 4 that once said, if you can think it, then it's possible. Right. So I think the fact that we have graphic novels about, like, Judge Dredd, where it's like artificial intelligence mixed with a bit of us within it, I do feel like there's going to be a way in which humans do implement our ability to judge, or our ability of judgment into artificial intelligence one day.
So in a way, could it be a sort of like half human, half robot judge, like a augmented... a cyborg judge.
Cyborgs actually exist right now. So like, I think it's like one of the Scandinavian countries. There's an office, and they're like kind of techie, like tech savvy. And they have these chips in their arms, and they're essentially Apple Pay. It's like Apple Pay, yeah. So like you just tap your arm on like a card. So they're technically cyborgs if you look at the definition. So I feel like we are stepping into like.
So we're going to cyborg anyway, in a way. So so maybe the judge won't disappear as a job, but it will be kind of compulsory to have a computer element to it, I suppose.
But you'll get like a percentage, like you'd run it through the algorithm, is this person guilty? 90% chance, and then perhaps just to keep that separation between human and robot, they would take the advice, similar to how you have magistrates these days, but with the legal advisor.
Okay, so in a way it's just like, it's an advisory role. We're talking about artificial intelligence. Come and take a seat, come and get involved. No commitment is required. You can have a sweet, by the way, if you want one. At the moment we're talking about, is artificial intelligence going to take over? Are we going to have jobs in the future? A judge, for example, is that going to be done by a machine? And the sort of conclusion we've come to is we'll have a machine and a human. So no one's going to lose their jobs, but like 85% of the work is going to be done by a machine. So it's going to be less taxing.
People are losing their jobs. People lower down who would normally work out this legal information. That's all being outsourced now to one computer, which will work within all the offices.
Okay, so that, although the judge job will still be there, all the lower down jobs will all be gone. So what's your name?
Carlos.
Carlos. We got Phoenix, we got Ben, we got Jem, we got Ethan, we got Stefan, and we have got Ty. My name's Mikey. Come and sit down on the table of chat. Would you trust a robot judge? That's what we're talking about at the moment. No, there's no compulsion here. There's no compulsory service on this table. But I guess we'll come to this point where it's a bit of each. But you're saying, Ben, that people will still lose their jobs. So,
absolutely. I think as AI comes in, and it's a lot of at least into the intermediary stage, it's going to be similar to the Industrial Revolution and things like that, where we did automate, but we needed still that manpower to deal with certain things. Now we're looking at a stage where things which are repeatable, things which are logical, and this is like now, within the next 3 to 5 years, a whole raft of jobs will be gone, like for example in the Amazon factories and things like that, where you can just robotize it. the people at the lower skilled work, stuff which doesn't require creativity, because that's not something we have cracked just yet with AI, and that's an interesting conversation. But anything which is very in and out and very like just follow these steps, whether it's thought processes, whether it's actual mechanical movement, whether it's deliveries, you no longer need human interaction in that.
Right, so things like deliveries is basically the sharp end where people will lose their jobs. Do people agree with that jobs will be lost?
Yeah, of course. I think there's no doubt. I think you're right. They already are being lost, and it's just going to get more. So instead of us we shouldn't just submit to that though. We've got to say, well, what are we going to do instead? And I think right, you're right. Like AI and robots. What
are we going to do instead?
Well, I think as I said before, we've got to look at like our own creativity, because it's something that we haven't replicated in AI. We haven't even got close to it.
So that is the bit where we can actually succeed. We've got a new face to say. What's her name? Rikem.
Yeah, nice.
Let me just give it to Stefan. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, nothing.
Okay. So let me just. So we got Ty, we got Stefan, we got Ethan, we got Jem, we got Ben, we've got Carlos and Phoenix. My name's Mikey. And we're sort of talking about our job's going to be lost because of artificial intelligence. And basically, Ben said it's going to be all the kind of unthinking kind of jobs, like.
There'll still be the higher level jobs, but it's the things which, like, you'll not replace art, you'll not replace design, unless you've got like an algorithm which, unless we ourselves are so logical and like so predictable, which we haven't found out yet, then it will replace a whole range. It's not necessarily low-paying jobs, it's just jobs which follow us where we are right now.
Okay.
Anyway.
So in a way, being in an art school, you're kind of in the well positioned for this, because the more creative things are things that robots can't do. Do people agree with that?
Especially like jobs where human interaction is important, where you want someone and you don't want to talk to a robot, obviously.
It's very frustrating, isn't it, when you are talking to a robot?
Especially like the Tesco machines where you have to scan yourself. Like, these are already frustrating, so you don't.
You find them frustrating?
Fully.
Okay. Is that the thin end of the wedge?
The ones where you're really ringing them up and they just say go to number 7, back to number 4, round to number 3, and they're really frustrating. I definitely prefer to speak to a human all the way.
Okay. I mean, we're talking about our robots taking over jobs. Are we I'm taking people in the creative industries. Are we the most protected, because computers can't do creativity, but they can do adding up your groceries or something like that. Oops. Let me just turn that one back on. Oh, what's happened to this? Oh, there we go. So we've got Rikem, we have got Ty, we've got Stefan, we've got Ethan, we've got Jem, we've got Ben, we've got Carlos, Phoenix, and
Batuhan,
and
Eileen.
Welcome on, Mikey. So, any views on this? Do you think robots are going to be taking over our jobs?
Well, I mean, going fully autonomous, isn't it that amazing that like robots are going to be doing everything for us? And then we're going to have even more time to explore our, reality, so our minds and all that.
You see it as a gift of time.
It is, but like people are scared of robots taking over our jobs, but like they're not scared of robots themselves.
Let me get a final thought from Stefan before.
Don't know what to say.
Are you worried about it? I mean, you're the student union guy. Is it something that unions are worried about?
Well, not really. It's going to happen, and it's beneficial to a lot of people and a lot of things. So it's not something that you should worry about.
So there's an upside to it, I suppose, just about thinking about it. All right, thanks, Stefan. Going back, Batuhan.
But the thing is, like, we are not scared of robots themselves. We're scared of the system, because we know that like this system that we're living in it would replace, if it will replace 10,000 people with one artificial intelligence overnight, and it would not think about all those 10,000 people and their lives and families. What we need to do is like we need to redefine the system, change the system and our values, and then go fully autonomous.
So in a way, I mean, it's just like this. It's just like this. We were talking about the robot judge. That the robot judge replicates our values. In a way, we need to, I suppose, have some of that empathy programmed into these robots, or programmed into the system, should I say. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. Are you worried about a robot taking over your job? Okay.
I think Batuhan sort of hit the nail on the head a bit there. One of the themes in the Paris Climate Summit was system change, not climate change. Right. And our system is like a robot. It is programmed with make a load of profit, chop down all these trees, and make a load of things, and keep consuming. Unless we change the program into our system into more sustainable, people a bit more of a for-profit, looking after things, then we're going to be heating up the atmosphere and chopping down all the forest very quickly. So we need to actually look at the system that we're programming these robots and these AIs and all sorts with, and put in sustainability and look at the whole system we live within and how we can change it to make it sustainable.
So if you were reprogramming the system, how would you reprogram it? And that goes out to everybody.
People before profit would be one of the first ones to put in. Sustainability, environmental awareness, happiness. Like Nepal, rather than a gross domestic product, they have a gross happiness product.
Let me just get a final thought.
So you actually, put into the system making people happy, looking after people, rather than just make loads of profit.
So the system can be reprogrammed easily with different values.
Yeah, I mean, we should just shift it. It's as simple as this. Just shift it from hatred and fear-based system to love-based system. Because
is that going to be as effective?
Yeah, if this is what we have achieved with this corrupted system, if we're sitting here and we have these monoliths in our pockets, and we're connected to the internet, if this is what we created with fear-based system, imagine what we can achieve with love-based system, where we share and care for one another.
Okay, what do people think?
We're not competing with one another. Countries are not competing with one another. They're completing. They're completing one on each other, and then they're just like collaborating.
Okay.
This is what we have achieved by destroying the nature and by competing with one another.
Can we reprogram the system to a love-based economy?
No. We shouldn't focus on trying to change the system. We should focus on trying to change ourselves. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And if everybody has this mentality, the system will automatically change.
Will it? Okay.
Yeah.
Do people agree with this? Rickham?
It can do, but I think what it is, these days, with this whole, let's say, with robots and jobs and so on, there's a massive upside for it because it creates jobs. There's a massive downside to it because people will lose jobs, but it's the people who don't get the chance to have a say whether they lose a job or get a job, or so which it affects.
So it's not just about having a love-based system. You also need a kind of you need to include people.
You've got to include everybody. Everyone's got to have a fair chance.
Okay, well, let's just spread. We got some new faces as well. So we got Ethan, we got Jem, we got Ben, we got Phoenix, we got Eileen and Batahan and Rickham. What's your name?
Latifa.
What's it?
Latifa.
Latifa and
Josh,
and we got Ty in the back there. And my name's Mikey. At the moment we're talking about. Well, we started off talking about artificial intelligence and how it was so cold and heartless, but actually Batuhan kind of shifted it, and it's like, it's not the artificial intelligence that is heartless, it's the system that puts, as Phoenix said, profits before people, and it's not a people-centered system in a way. So we're talking about reprogramming the system, but how do we do that? Batuhan says it's got to be by you reprogramming yourself. But Rickham was kind of saying, well, you can't, it's not just that, because, some people are not there, they're not powerful enough to actually be involved in that. They could reprogram to love, and no one would listen, it wouldn't change anything. So that's where we are right now.
I was going to say, already though, we have seen this shift over the last 5 years towards open data from government, from civic industries, where you do get data scientists who are working for good, who use that information, to use robots, to use algorithms, and to share that information. So the nice thing about what's happening with robots and artificial intelligence is that it is accessible to anyone. So people, there is that difficult part that you need to know how to program, but it's not someone, I know hackathons where people are always looking for positive solutions too.
So data is accessible to everyone as long as you know how to program.
I'm just gonna get what's really complicated today is going to be the tools that our kids are going to be playing with these tools, because everything is going to be user friendly. And the thing about the data is that there is nothing wrong about having an artificial intelligence researching, scanning your data, but what's wrong is that you don't own that data. The data that you put up onto social media is being used against you for commercial and mostly commercial and military purposes. So we should all have we should all claim that like we own that data and we can do whatever the fuck we want with that data, you know. If you want to feed an artificial intelligence system that, you know, feeds military, it's up to you, that's your choice. But if I don't want that, if I don't want an artificial intelligence that works for military to learn from my data, I should have 100% right to say no, I don't want to share my data with you.
Right, okay.
And that's why we need a decentralized world, global decentralization.
And everyone's agreeing with you, but what do other people think? What's that?
You know, like the whole Bitcoin thing about like centralized banks and having it separated with blockchain and whatnot. That is like a start for like the system, because our system is money driven, and it's all about money, money, money. So if you take away that money and you make it so everyone can, you know, like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin, but like. Blockchain essentially.
Yeah, so you've got a blockchain system that could be used just to share data. It doesn't have to be about money. But is it really possible?
Decisions, I think, blockchain. I haven't got fully into it. My mates who are involved with Occupy a lot said blockchain is one of the next levels for making group decisions and making it open and more transparent and things like that. Future ways of running things.
Okay, so those possibilities are here, but are we all ready to grasp them? Is it just kind of like, I guess people here are very creative, they're in touch with what's going on. Is it going to be open to everybody?
I don't think it will be, because I mean, just like my friend here said, it's about like our kids are going to be using this, but it's not being taught into our schools. It's not all schools have it. Not all the sort of less fortunate ones of us will have an opportunity to do it. So they will never get an opportunity to see how this works, and they'll be the ones who are affected by it. Those families will be affected by it, and those will be the ones which lose their jobs, and it won't.
Is there any way to open it out to those people that?
You're saying? It's as simple. I mean, like, you're totally right. Like, it's so blocked off in that regard. And I think a big part of that is because of how we're educated. You know, our education system is based off the industrial era, where we were being born and bred to work in factories, right? You know, and that's been the big like subconscious thing about it. If we change education and made it more about big thinking, about creativity, and we use things like the internet to connect collaboratively like that, free collaboration, it welcomes everyone. You know, the internet knows no people and knows no social climate, right? It is much more powerful.
So you think that actually, if we want to change the system, it's the education system that maybe
big time, you know, and then all you have to do on top of that is just place these systems in place on the internet, free collaboration, and then, you know, something no one talks about is, you know, we worked in a capitalist system which worked great for, you know, us not being connected in this way. You know, we were all so separate, and so a competitive strategy was great, so that, you know, the best stuff would come out on top. But now it's like more people can collaborate on one thing than ever before because of the internet. I mean, millions of people.
So you think that's going to lead to a new collaborative kind of way of doing things? Absolutely. What do other people think? Are we going to be moving into? Is it education that's a blockage? I'll come to you in a second. But
so we were like before we were talking about like AI and stuff, and how if we program it from the start, kind of like nurture it or show it enough, it can do like the right, you know, thing.
Yeah.
If you think about people and kids, and when a kid's born, they don't know what black and white is, or you show them, you know what I mean? So if you think of kids and you think of the education system, what you teach them is essentially what like kind of makes them. It's like mixture of like.
Okay, so we're actually replicating this power structure in the schools.
Right. So So if you teach them the right things from the start, just like an AI, it will make the right decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I completely agree with both of you, because like the current system that we are living in now, it's so aware of this, and it is from an early age on. What we call as education is raising citizens, citizens that serve, so then the government, you know, this establishment can, you know, carry on. And there is no point of trying to talk about brighter futures when our upcoming generations are growing up within an environment that normalizes sexism, homophobia, racism, you know, and just all this fear and hatred.
Why does it normalize those things?
They're normalizing those things. Just watch Marvel, you know, Marvel characters, or just watch the cartoon channels. They're just all there, like, you know, they always have these white characters, you know, fighting and killing. Like, they're trying to, you know, they're bringing peace by killing others. It's like, but we're teaching our kids that, like, you know, you need to fight hatred with hatred.
Right.
I mean, and this is exactly why this system is like, when I say love, it's not like, you know, that hippie shit love. It's like, it's love and caring. I'm talking about even love what you call as enemy, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
But because if we actually shift this, and I also like to your point, like, I agree with you. I'm from Turkey, for example, and it's like Turkey is considered as, you know, so like every time, like, you know, after staying in London for a couple of months, and when I go back to Turkey, I feel it's a good experience. It kicks me out of my bubble, and it shows me like you know, how a country that is considered as third world country is behind all these technological advancements. But instead of like trying to keep this technological advancement to a certain part of the world, let's just look at ways of how we can actually open it up. And the thing about blockchain and cryptocurrencies is that I don't like calling them cryptocurrency because they are not new currencies, they're crypto values, they're new value systems. We are replacing, we are replacing the one of the most powerful tool that the system lives on, depends on its money. We're replacing it and we're taking control over it. And the thing with cryptocurrency, let's say a farmer in Turkey or in Africa or in Asia that didn't have enough funds to go to bank and open up a bank account, now has the power to do it remotely on his own. And so you can come up with
farming. There's quite a few different points there on the table. I mean, take whatever one you want. I would have just only let Batuan have 1 point, but he didn't actually stop and pause for a breath. So what do people think?
I think there's like whole new ways of organising our world waiting in the wings. You know, I was involved a lot with the Occupy movement, but my mate who was involved with that a lot sent me this the other day, and just some of the conversations I had here. Open 2018 platform cooperatives, kind of new ways of organising, using blockchain, using more cooperative, sustainable systems, this, that and the other. He's just been out to a big conference in Switzerland, Faircoin and the Fair Co-op. Basically what they're doing is, it's like cryptocurrencies, but it's based on community work and helping the community and the planet and the environment. And you know, there is whole new ways of organising systems and things coming that we need to shift into, because our current system is unsustainable, it's unfair, and you know, this next generation is seeing, you know, there are new ways of organising and getting things together, and we need to put that into the programme for the bigger thing, more sustainability and fairness.
I just want to say, call this my final thought, because I am just about to dash. You know, a new online system where people could freely collaborate, where you could also own your own data. Myself and Jem are working on that right now. It's called Cluster. If any of you at this table,
what's it called?
Cluster, Clusta. If any of you want to get involved, or if you want to be part of that process, please let us know.
How does it work?
I'll come round to both of you right now, and I'll get you on it. But yeah, Clusta.
How does it work? What is it?
Check it out, man. I can't explain now. But it's coming soon. Trust me, and it's exactly what we're talking about. Exactly what we're talking about.
It's some kind of. I mean, the thing is, someone like me finds it hard to grasst these kind of things.
I know. So that's why.
Okay, well, we'll check the website. If we got a couple of free seats, come and get involved. What do you think? We're talking about, is education the bottleneck of the system? We can observe sitting down. It makes me look more busy. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, well, give us a final thought, Ben.
So going back to AI, which we were looking at, I think one of the biggest challenges, while we are looking to improve society and move to potentially a love-based...
Hang on a sec, Ben. Let me get a final thought from Ty and Latifah, and Josh, is it? Yeah. I just want to get a final thought from these guys. Give us a final thought.
Strong points from everybody, most especially
Batuan.
I'll just call him B. Love is the key. You can program love into people, so you can program love into a program when you're programming an artificial intelligence of any sort. If you can teach, or if we can sort out the world first and bring everyone on par with each other, then we are ready as mankind to deal with artificial and live and walk among, or have artificial intelligence walking among us like robots.
Okay, so we've got to have love in the program. Latifah, have you got a final thought?
I basically think that, like, the way technology is ruling the world now, it's a blessing and a curse in disguise, because, like someone said before, like our kids, the next generation, our kids, the next generation will then be affected by it. So it's kind of down to like companies on what they produce that is going to be like child friendly and like family friendly as well. That's what my view is. I'm kind of open to both sides of artificial intelligence. But I'm also open to the side of like nurturing natural skills through nature and stuff like that.
Can artificial intelligence be nurturing?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll find out. Final thoughts?
I was saying this topic is almost like debatable. Like we're almost fighting like with it, because I feel like the more we go into like you know, the internet and like Bitcoin and stuff like that. I feel like not even government, but like the system is almost like, you know, trying to almost stop us from like seeing that. Even like the education system, like, it's built to understand only one part of it.
Yeah, so
they
we're
don't
almost
teach us
trained to be blinded to other possibilities.
Exactly, to then be exactly. Exactly. They don't teach us to own businesses, stuff like that. So
in a way, this education system's taken a bit of a battering today. Funny because we're in an educational institution. Maybe it's just time to get final thoughts from everyone. Have you got a final thought or an?
System change, not climate change. Change the whole system, make it more sustainable and fair.
Okay. All right. And I guess that includes love in the system. It looks like that's the end of that session. Unless these two, have you got anything you want to say before we turn off the mics?
Keep up the good work.
Oh, keep up. Yeah, hopefully we're part of the system change, even if we're also part of climate change by driving around in our van and flying everywhere to do all this stuff. All right, thank you, Rick. We will be back.